English Rise Podcast.
Easy listening and speaking practice. Hey everyone! Welcome back to English Rise Podcast. I'm Emma, and today we're tackling a tiny question that often feels huge. Someone asks you, "What do you do?" And suddenly, you don't know what to say. Today, I'll show you a clear, simple framework so you can answer that question confidently in English.
And I'm Alex. Hi. If that sounds familiar, oh man, I have been there. I once froze on an elevator when someone asked me, "So what do you do?" I said, I like computers? Not my finest moment, but we'll help you avoid that.
Exactly. That's why this episode matters. Talking about work comes up everywhere. Parties, coffee breaks, classrooms, interviews. If you can answer naturally, you relax, you connect, and you sound confident, even if your grammar isn't perfect.
Quick note, if you do a lot of things, side jobs, freelance, studying, stay with us. We'll cover students, freelancers, people between jobs, remote workers, and people with long job titles.
First, the most common questions you'll hear: what do you do? What do you do for a living? People also ask, what's your job? Or what do you work as? All are natural. The key, your answer should be short, clear, and easy to remember.
Let's teach the simple answer structure. 2 basic patterns you can use right away. 1, I'm a plus job. 2, I plus verb plus short detail. Example, I'm a teacher, or I teach English to adults. Both are natural and perfect.
If your title is long or technical, say the title and then explain in simple language. For example, I'm a data analyst. I look at numbers to help companies understand customers. The explanation is what people remember.
Short practice. Say it with me. All model, you repeat. I'm a graphic designer. I design logos and websites for small businesses. Try your job now.
Now let's talk about location words. Use work at for a physical place. I work at a university. Use work for to emphasize the employer. I work for a nonprofit. And if you're remote, I work from home for a marketing startup, or I work remotely. Simple.
If you're between roles, don't panic. Say something positive and forward-looking. I'm currently looking for a role in HR, or I've just finished a contract and I'm exploring opportunities in UX design. Honesty with optimism.
Students say, I'm a student studying, or I'm finishing my degree in civil engineering. If you're doing an internship, you can say, I am an intern at Company X, assisting with product research. That's clear and makes conversation easier.
Let's practice 3 quick, full answers for different scenarios. I'll do one, Emma, you do one, then listeners repeat. 1. I'm a nurse. I care for patients in a hospital. 2. I'm a web developer. I build websites for e-commerce companies. 3. I'm a student studying finance at university. Your turn, Emma.
I'm an English teacher. I teach conversation and business English to adults. Listeners, say yours out loud now.
Great! Now we'll move to describing responsibilities and work style. Use simple verbs: help, manage, create, design, teach, analyze, support, sell, organize, develop. For example, I manage a team of 5, or I create content for social media.
If you work with others, mention it briefly. I work with a team of designers, or I collaborate with developers. If you're independent, I'm self-employed, or I work as a freelancer. These little phrases tell people how you work.
Let's role-play a short conversation to show flow. I'll be curious person at a networking event. Alex: So, what do you do? Emma: Your turn.
I'm a product manager. I work at a fintech startup, and I coordinate product development and user research.
Follow-up: Interesting. What do you do day to day? Emma:
I usually start the day with a team stand-up, then I review metrics and talk with designers about features. I enjoy solving user problems. That's a simple, friendly flow.
Perfect. Notice how Emma included job title, workplace, a one-line responsibility, and a personal note. That's our 4-step formula, which we'll explain more soon.
Before that, a quick note on tenses. Use present simple for your regular job. I work as an accountant. Use present continuous for temporary projects. I'm working on a contract for a startup. Little difference, big clarity.
Common mistakes time. Error 1, missing articles. Say, I am a teacher, not I am teacher. Error 2, prepositions. Correct is work as a designer, not work like designer. Error 3, mixing up work at, for, from. I work at the office versus I work for a consulting firm versus I work from home.
Let's give listeners some ready-made sentence templates to memorize. Template A, short, I'm a job. Template B, short with detail, I, verb, object, for workplace/clients. Template C, longer, I'm a job at, for, company. I, responsibility. It's adjective, and I'm hoping to, goal. Copy these.
Okay, time for a longer example you might use in networking. Real life. I'm a marketing analyst at Bright Ads. I analyze campaign performance and report on metrics to improve ROI. It's fast-paced but rewarding, and I'm studying to specialize in data-driven marketing. That covers the 4 parts: title, workplace, responsibility, feeling, goal.
Listeners, try a short drill. Stop the podcast after this sentence, write your answers for the 3 templates, and record yourself. Then play it back and notice one place you hesitate. That hesitation is where you should practice.
Now let's handle tricky cases. If you have a long job title, simplify it. Example, I'm a senior associate, global supply chain. Simplify, I help manage global supply chain operations. Or, I manage logistics for international shipments. Keep it simple.
Multiple roles? Just put the 2 most relevant. Example, I'm a teacher and a freelance writer. I teach mornings and write articles in the evenings. It's honest and gives your listener context.
If you're freelance or self-employed, I'm a freelance UX designer. I design apps and websites for startups. If you're a consultant, I consult for small businesses on marketing strategy.
Let's talk about schedule and routine language. Use phrases like, I work full-time, I work part-time, I'm on a contract, or I freelance. To describe a day, I usually start at 9, check emails, have meetings, then focus on design work in the afternoon. Present simple works best.
If you work shifts, say, I work nights or I work weekends. If you're flexible, I have flexible hours and often work from 10 to 6. People will understand your availability.
Now, feelings and goals, professional nuance, use neutral words like rewarding, challenging, interesting, demanding, fulfilling. Example, my job is rewarding because I see direct results. Or, it's challenging, but I'm learning a lot. and future goals. I'd like to move into management, or I'm studying to get a certification.
Short example, I'm an accountant. I prepare financial statements for small businesses. It can be demanding during tax season, but it's rewarding because I help owners understand their numbers. I want to specialize in tax accounting.
Let's do an interruption-style role play. I'll answer, and you'll interrupt with a question, Alex.
Okay, Emma, what do you do?
I'm a content strategist for an education platform. I plan lesson content and manage a team of writers.
Do you also write the lessons?
Yes, I write sometimes, but mostly I edit and coordinate. We focus on clear, simple language for learners. That keeps lessons accessible.
Nice. Short follow-up. How many people are on your team?
We're a small team of 6, so hands-on and collaborative. That's my favorite part.
See how natural that felt? Short, simple, with a follow-up question that keeps the conversation flowing.
All right, time for some concrete vocabulary practice. Here are 10 verbs to describe most jobs: help, manage, create, design, teach, analyze, sell, support, organize, develop. Use one of these to describe your main task.
And here are 10 plug-and-play phrases. I manage a team. I help customers. I create content. I develop apps. I design products. I analyze data. I support clients. I organize events. I sell services. I consult for startups. Memorize a few that match your job.
Common pronunciation tip. If your job title ends in a consonant cluster, slow down a bit. For example, accountant. Make sure you pronounce all syllables. Accountant. Slowing slightly helps clarity.
Quick correction corner. People often say, I'm working as teacher. Better, I'm working as a teacher, or I work as a teacher. Also avoid, I work like a teacher. That implies you behave like a teacher, not that your job is that.
Another mistake, using the wrong preposition with company names. People say, I work on Google. Correct, I work at Google, or I work for Google. Use at, for, depending on whether you mean location or employer.
Let's do a few profession-specific examples so listeners can hear varied models. I'll list the job and a short and longer answer. Job, nurse. Short, I'm a nurse. Longer, I'm a registered nurse in a hospital ER. I care for patients, monitor vitals, and coordinate with doctors. It's intense but rewarding.
Job, teacher. Short, I'm an English teacher. Longer, I teach business English to professionals. I plan lessons, correct assignments, and help students practice presentations. It's rewarding because I see progress.
Job, software engineer. Short, I'm a software engineer. Longer, I develop back-end systems for e-commerce platforms. I write code, troubleshoot bugs, and work with product teams to deploy features.
Job, salesperson. Short, I'm a sales representative. Longer, I sell B2B software to small and medium businesses. I reach out to leads, give demos, and close deals.
Job, student, looking for work. Short, I'm a student. Longer, I study computer science and I'm looking for an internship in software development this summer. Practical and to the point.
Now, some practical conversation flow templates you can use. Template 1, small talk. I'm a job. Follow with, and you? Template 2, networking. I'm a job at company. I, responsibility. I'm looking to goal, What about you? Template 3, interview/network deeper. I do responsibility. I'm interested in skills/goal and currently studying course/certificate.
Listeners, try these now. Say Template 1 out loud, then Template 2, then Template 3. Record each. If you can, send us a short voice note on social. We'll share feedback on a future episode.
A short confidence tip. Slow down and smile. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, a calm voice and small smile make you sound approachable and confident. People notice that more than perfect grammar.
Also, don't over-explain. If someone looks confused, simplify. I work in IT. I help with computer systems. That's better than diving into technical jargon right away.
We promised a clear 4-step formula. Here it is again. Concise. 1. Job title. 2. Workplace, company or industry. 3. One-line responsibility. Use simple verbs. 4. One sentence about likes, challenges, goals. Practice each step.
We'll model one final long example with all 4 parts for a listener preparing for networking. I'm a UX researcher at Nova Labs. I conduct user interviews and usability tests to improve product experience. I analyze results and present insights to the design team. It's rewarding to see small changes improve usability, and I'm aiming to lead research projects soon.
Listeners, your homework: write 4 versions of your answer. 1-word job title, 1-sentence short answer, 1-paragraph detailed answer using the 4-step formula, 4, 1 answer with a personal detail, why you like the work. Record them and listen back.
We'll leave a list of sample phrases and verbs in the episode notes. Also, remember to practice with a friend or language partner. Real conversation practice beats silent repetition.
Before we go, 2 more quick role plays. 1 awkward, 1 perfect. Awkward. Alex asks abruptly and you panic. Alex: so what do you do? Interrupting, you blurt out a confusing title.
All right, so what do you do?
I'm senior logistics operations consultant at multiple clients, managing supply chain optimization, and people look lost.
That sounded confusing. Now, the perfect version in the same situation: I manage logistics for e-commerce companies. I help reduce shipping costs and improve delivery times. Short, clear, easy to follow.
Exactly. That's the goal. Finally, remember, communication beats perfection. You don't need to speak flawlessly to be understood. Practice, record, and try again.
We'd love to hear from you. Send a voice note with your short and long versions to our socials. We'll play a few anonymized ones and give tips in the next episode.
Thank you for listening today. Remember, learning English takes time, and that's okay. Every small step you take is helping you improve. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and give yourself credit for trying.
We'll keep learning together. English Rise Podcast. Easy listening, better speaking, rise higher. See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.